Hello, welcome along here to West Hill Golf Club 2, a new video series where we're talking about the best clubs in 2017 and the things you need to consider if you're considering upgrading your clubs in 2017. Now, I'm alongside Ged Walters. Ged is the top 25
How are
coach,
we?
and we're in a pretty good position to give you some insight into the best performing clubs this year and really help you make the best decision for your cash. So Ged, before we talk about the new clubs that are launched and our favourites that have been launched in 2017, what are the things that golfers need to consider when buying a new driver? Because in this video we're talking about drivers specifically.
I would say when it comes to a new driver, I think there's a couple of real key points. Is making sure that you get the right loft so that you can launch the ball at the optimum.
Yeah.
You know, don't be scared of having a driver which has got loads of loft on the face thinking I'm going to hit it sort of less distance because it's going to go up in the air. If you get that combination right of the head design with the shaft for you at the right length, which is crucial for centeredness of strike, because no point having this new driver if you don't hit the middle of the club face, you're going to lose distance on it. So length of shaft, correct shaft to optimize your launch conditions with the correct loft, and then the aesthetics bit then rolls into play. Then if you really like the look of your driver, it's going to give you confidence. You're going to enjoy it.
Generally, custom fitting I think is pretty important when you think of all the technology that's been launched this year, all the different weights and things like that. There's so many different settings that golfers could in theory play around with, but they probably wouldn't benefit from doing it themselves, would they?
Definitely, yeah. It's one of those things where it's great to have the ability to change a little bit of loft or change a bit of weight setting to help. It's not, you know, don't be fooled by thinking if you put it in a draw setting you're all of a sudden going to draw it and not slice it. But also then there's the danger of tinkering around with something and losing yardage, losing control of the ball flight, losing a bit of direction in there as well. So you've got to go and get yourself fitted, go to local club pro or fitting centre and make sure that you get the one which is going to work for you as an individual.
Okay, well, we're going to touch on some drivers now that are at different price points in the ranges for 2017, but these are drivers that we picked out that we feel are like the top performers of the pool that's out there in 2017. I'm going to start with my favourite of this year, which is the new TaylorMade M1.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I know you wanted to pick it as well, but for me this is my favourite for a number of reasons. It's got some fantastic adjustability on the bottom here. You really can dial in the spin and launch and your shot shape to the nth degree really. Whatever kind of ball flight you want to see, you're going to be able to get it from this driver. So it looks fantastic. Very easy to align with this white front. That's something I really noticed with this driver compared to anything else. That face angle is really prominent with this driver. It just helps me start the ball on the line that I want to start it on. So obviously you've got the adjustable loft there as well. So for me, while it wasn't offering a massive step up on the old M1, I think I hit this about 1 yard further than the old M1. It's definitely one of the best feeling, best performing drivers on the market for me. I know, Ged, you've got a competitor for this that you like.
The main competitor for me, and the one that really stands out, is the one that Callaway, you know, they spent a lot on the launch of this, which is the Epic, and for me the Sub-Zero. They've got two great drivers. The Epic, the standard one, has got the sliding weight bar around the back so that you can tailor that to try and get yourself a little bit more of a draw bias in there and lighten the weight of the toe end. For me, when I hit it, it had a slightly different spin characteristics than the Sub-Zero. So again, the biggest thing for me with this is the jailbreak technology. So the two bars is designed to reinforce it and stop the crown from distorting as much, to give you effectively, like I say, a much greater control of the ball flight and off the face and the speed. I think the biggest thing it does is changes the feel and the sound of it. It feels and sounds amazing, and the flight of it is pretty good too.
I think the interesting thing with the Sub-Zero is that I think more golfers are going to fit into this low spin version of this driver. It does offer a lot of surprising level of forgiveness.
Definitely, for this type of driver, it is very, very easy to hit.
So I think these are the kind of the two standout contenders. I think obviously these are right at the top of the price point. I think retail prices $479, $469 potentially the other way around, but you're probably going to be paying around £450 for those drivers, so a lot of money. So we're going to go down a little bit in price now, but not necessarily in performance, because I've got the Mizuno Jay Picks 900 driver here. This again in testing was one of the best performing drivers I've tested this year. It got some of the longest carries I've ever hit, and you've got a host of adjustable weights on the bottom, so you really can dial in, you know, spin, launch, all that kind of thing. You've also got a weight that changes the face angle as well, which is an interesting concept, that you can change the loft and then alter the face angle independently of that to see the address profile that you want, which I think a lot of golfers, some like to see a shut face, some like to see, better players like to see an open club face. So you've got the ability to do that with this driver. Comes in at £399 I think, so you're paying a bit less. It looks fantastic. Launches the ball quite high. It's got kind of a shallow face to it, but I really like the performance of this, and I think a lot of golfers are going to benefit from the technology as well.
Definitely.
Jed, any other favourites that stood out for you this year?
Yeah, I've got two. Maybe agree and take two more. Right, I've got two. These two, and obviously this first one, the Ping LS Tech, so the low spin technology, although it was launched sort of mid part of last year, it is a great driver. It's got the Dragonfly technology and the turbulators on the top, so the visible side of it, to sort of help lighten and increase the speed of the club a little bit for you out there. Whether it will do in terms of increase it dramatically, probably not, but it will help a little bit in there. And if you can get a couple of miles an hour faster, ball speed gets a little bit faster, it can help you hit a little further. The one thing I find with this, and more so than either of the other two, the straight flight technology or the standard G, is the control of the flight and the spin control is massively different between them. So as an overall package, this is probably the best of the three that they've launched, which is in there.
Yeah, like you say, obviously it's the low spin version, but it's not necessarily just for better players, is it?
No,
a lot of golfers will benefit from lower spin from that centred strike.
Yeah. I found that the straight flight technology actually didn't really do anything different than the standard one. The spin was higher, and obviously it's there to potentially reduce side spin, but it was negligible.
Right.
Whereas this actually did more of that reduction of side spin than anything from the other two. So that one, as an all-round, no matter what type of golfer you are, definitely worth a shout.
Interesting.
And the other one which I really liked was the M2. Again, the newer M2, literally down to a feel off the club face. Again, distance-wise from the old M2, very, very similar, but a big difference in the feel and the sound off the club face in there. Again, still got the same amount of adjustability in the loft on there.
So pretty kind of a high-performing driver that's going to save golfers a few quid as well with
Definitely.
that M2 compared to the M1, definitely. Just some other notable drivers to talk about for me. The Titleist 917 model, the Srixon Z 565 driver, I really enjoyed the performance of that. It gave me kind of a high launch, low spin combination, kind of like it started high and then a really nice flat ball flight, and lots of run and decent carry as well. So really enjoyed that. The Wilson Triton driver as well, really impressed with that. And I think, Jed, you've got another Wilson driver that
I
you
have,
liked.
yeah, which I thought was really good, was the D300. I mean, this thing comes in
£279.
yeah, so you're looking at it like maybe what could have been maybe 4 years ago at the top end range in terms of its price point, but now it's at a really, really good price point. But performance wise, the flight off it, absolutely fantastic for its value. Distance, you wouldn't find a great deal change of distance between that and Callaway, really.
Yeah, that's an interesting point you make there, Jed. Obviously, all these new drivers, these super duper expensive premium drivers, come with a host of adjustable features, but all the drivers these days are limited, aren't they, in what they can do from the face. The ball speed you can get from the face technically is all the same. The difference golfers are going to see with the new drivers that come out is more forgiveness and more scope to adjust the clubs and the weighting and the loft and things like that to dial in the ball flight, whereas shots from the sweet spot, they're not going to go any further than drivers from previous years and different price points as well.
Definitely, yeah. You can probably go back and say, well, even 10 or 15 years ago, there's not going to be a huge difference if you hit it right out the middle. But what they do give you is when you don't hit it out the middle is the benefits of fast as we go through there.
Yeah, and being able to create a certain shot shape as well. So that's interesting. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Lots of different drivers for you to consider in 2017. With all the adjustability that's been launched recently, it really is a bit of a minefield, but hopefully that's narrowed down your search a little bit. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch all our reviews of these drivers on the Golf Monthly website. You can do the same on Jed's channel on YouTube as well. Check out his reviews of all these clubs. Make sure you hit the comment section down below, hit the like button, let us know what you think about the drivers we've talked about in this video. But thanks for watching and we'll see you again soon.